I thought you would want it up a little bit.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's like, no, it's got a delay. I'm not going to listen to it.
Very good.
No, it's like, nope, none of that's up.
That's what
No
I'm
way.
saying.
No way. Whenever you're ready.
We're good. Good morning. It's 7 a.m. You're listening to WADR Mornings with Reese Wood. We're broadcasting and streaming live from 321 East Milwaukee Street in downtown Janesville. It's Friday, October 23rd, 2015. This is the one and only morning show that pivots from the Janesville community, the individuals that make our community, and all that you do here. Don't forget, you can chat with me all mornings. That's 7 to 9 a.m. while I'm in studio. All you have to do is go to the WADR Mornings Facebook page. You can chat with me there. That's one way. You can email me at wadrshow@gmail.com. And you can join the video stream now. I have the links posted on the Facebook page. That's the WADR Mornings Facebook page. Just click the video link and you can see the live video stream. There's a chat to the right of the video stream, but also we are taking your calls this morning, all this morning throughout the headlines. If you feel like calling in, please do so. 608-352-9701. We will be taking your calls all morning up until 9 a.m. when Amy Goodman Democracy Now! Kicks in. That number is 608-352-9701. So many ways that you can interact with the morning show while we're in here. And like I said, phone lines, you can join the Facebook page, you can email me, anything that you'd like to send me your input. I will take your input and utilize it daily. Your input is valuable and critical here. This is community radio you're listening to. Let's talk about what we have coming up in the second hour today. It's Friday. I didn't really plan a guest or anything today, so we're going to go over headlines and talk about some events going on this weekend. So, as I said, taking your calls all morning. Let's see if we can get some callers. And that's what we got lined up today. Every day, a little something different in the second hour. Today will be phone calls, which is going to be our first day dedicated to that. Every day, in-studio guests, a pre-recorded interview, or a topic of focus. Today, headlines and phone calls. Let's start with this day in history. Let's look at an in-depth Wisconsin this day in history. 1921, the Green Bay Packers' first NFL game. On this date, the Green Bay Packers played their first NFL game. The Packers defeated the Minneapolis Marines 7-6 for a crowd of 6,000 fans, and the Packers completed their inaugural season with 3 wins, 2 losses, and 2 ties. That's 1921, the Packers with their first NFL game.
That's a big game, especially for the true Packer fans out there. That's the game
Yeah.
that they won. That's a good thing to start off with a win, and now look at them now.
Right, that's when they used to wear, leather hats and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
And they also had the blue jerseys like they did the last game versus San Diego.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't stay up on the NFL, but I did notice that. That was interesting. I thought I was watching a college game or seeing pictures from a college game. That was cool. Let's move on to the rest of this day in history. 1850. The first National Women's Rights Convention begins in Worcester, Massachusetts, United States. That's 1850, the first National Women's Rights Convention. 1861, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln suspends the writ of habeas corpus in Washington, D.C. for all military-related cases. 1861, Abraham Lincoln suspending the writ of habeas corpus. That's a pretty big deal to me. Google writ of habeas corpus if you are not familiar with that one. 1911, first use of aircraft in war, the Italo-Turkish War. An Italian pilot takes off from Libya to observe Turkish army lines in 1911, first aircraft in war. In 1915, in women's suffrage, in New York City, 25,000 to 33,000 women marched from Fifth Avenue to advocate their right to vote. In 1929, Great Depression. After a steady decline in stock market prices since a peak in September, the New York Stock Exchange begins to show signs of panic. It's 1929. And 1939, the Japanese Mitsubishi G4M, the twin-engine Betty bomber, makes its maiden flight. 1939. 1946, the United Nations General Assembly convenes for the first time at an auditorium in Flushing, Queens, New York City. In 1956, thousands of Hungarians protest against the government and Soviet occupation. The Hungarian Revolution is crushed later in November. That's 1956. And our last look at this day in history, 1958, for October 23rd, the Smurfs, a fictional race of blue dwarves, later popularized by Hanna-Barbera and their animated cartoon series. Smurfs appear for the first time in the story La Flute Six. I can't even pronounce that one. That's this day in history, the Smurfs premiering. And don't forget, in the second hour, we will continue to go over headlines and we are taking your phone calls. Also, we have the video stream up that is on YouTube. You can find the WADR Mornings the WADR Mornings YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type WADR Mornings with Reese Wood. You should find our channel. The live stream for this morning should be posted there. If you cannot find it on YouTube, all you have to do is go to the Facebook page, WADR Mornings on Facebook, and we have the link posted there. It should be the second link posted on the page. You can see the video stream. You can call in at 608-352-9701, or you can just chat with us on Facebook. We're going to our first break right now. Don't forget, at 7:45 this morning, we will get to your sports. We're joined by Steven Devine this morning. He's here. It's Friday. And we will be back after our first break. Thanks for staying tuned. Which one is this?
Johnny Cash.
Okay. Sweet. We have one viewer.
Yay. That's probably you.
Hey, we're back with the morning show on Janesville Community Radio. I'm your host, Reese Wood, joined today by Steven Devine. He's going to get into some sports. And we're going to get you some weather right now. It's 53 degrees outside. Looks like we're in for some rain today. Should see a high of 61. And tomorrow, low of 38, high of 62. Man, today we have those 11-mile-per-hour winds. It's a little windy out there. And we're going to go over some headlines right now. We're going to get into it. I wanted to remind everybody the construction going on I-90. As I got on 90 this morning, a little backed up. They opened the Show Pier ramps in Beloit. And I know around 5 o'clock this morning it was very backed up. So new ramps opening, tons of construction going on. All throughout I-90. So drive safe out there this morning. It's pretty backed up. It is Friday. We are taking your phone calls. Don't forget 608-352-9701. Taking your phone calls all morning. Maybe you have an event you'd like to share. Maybe you'd like to comment on one of the some of the news I'm going to share. Just call in and say good morning, whatever you like. 608-352-9701. We have the video stream up, and we're on Facebook. So many ways you can interact with the morning show. And let's get into our first bit of news. Let's catch up on Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan declares his candidacy for House Speaker, said he's ready and eager. Representative Paul Ryan said Thursday he would seek to become House Speaker after key GOP factions pledged their support, ending 2 weeks of drama and doubt about the Wisconsin Republicans' intentions. The announcement leaves little doubt it will be Ryan, who is 45. He takes the gavel. He could take the gavel from outgoing Speaker John A. Boehner when he leaves office next week. Boehner on Wednesday set the vote on his successor for October 29th, a day before he intends to resign. What do you think about this, Steven?
Well, I mean, it's actually kind of funny because that's the day the stock market crashed. But
interesting
with that. But yeah, and I'm not surprised that he's decided to go. Like, he seemed like when Paul Ryan first started off, he didn't sound like he was like incredibly interested. But I mean, now that he's probably got the actual opportunity, and now that the people are finally saying, "Hey, I think we'll support you for doing it," might as well. Yeah, I think he's probably going to go for it all the way as much as he can.
You know what I got to say? Being a family guy myself, and Paul Ryan, you know, his number one thing is he said on the record that he's a family guy. He's got to have that time.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's one thing he's not going to, as long as he lets him have family time.
I cannot relate to that more than I cannot state how much I can relate to that. Yeah. That is something that no matter what you do, if you're way too busy and you start the distractions from your family time, it's something you have a hard time keeping wraps on because you are consumed in what you're busy with.
Yeah, you got 4 kids. I think he's got 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely, I can understand where he's coming from on that. You know, there's a lot of people who are on the other side of the political aisle who have other things to say, but I definitely get where he's coming from on that.
On the family issues, I understand completely. But
right. So, let's go on to our next bit of news. Looks like Hurricane Patricia, strongest storm ever measured to hit Mexico. Hurricane Patricia became the strongest storm ever measured on the planet early Friday, with experts warning it could trigger 39-foot waves along Mexico's coast and life-threatening flash flooding. Several million residents were told to prepare for the worst-case scenario, as Patricia was expected to race ashore on Mexico's Pacific coast late Friday afternoon or early morning. That's today. The tourist magnets of Puerto Vallarta and Manzanillo were directly in the Category 5 storm's projected path. Featuring 200-mile-per-hour winds, the U.S. National Hurricane Center described Patricia as the strongest hurricane on record in the Atlantic and the eastern North Pacific basins. That is Hurricane Patricia. That's That sounded pretty scary.
And you thought Katrina was bad.
Yeah.
This one's going to hit Mexico, and this one had, I'm not sure what Hurricane Katrina had. I know it wasn't good, and it was a bad storm. But if Patricia's the highest on record, that's beating Hurricane Katrina, and Katrina was a horrible disaster in the United States. So
just imagine the trickle-down effects to the United States afterwards. You think
Mexico, and this is hitting Mexico, and Mexico can cover themselves, but it's not going to be perfect. So
man, you thought we were talking, you think that immigration issue is big in the news now. Imagine if there was a catastrophe, some environmental issue like this. It was just very catastrophic, and we're going to be reassessing the immigration issue, I feel like.
Prayers for Mexico in a good way, of course. And I hope they can get through this, because this storm's not going to be a pretty one to hit.
No, exactly. Let's look at our next bit of news. John Deere in Janesville is packing up operations to leave Janesville by 2017. John Deere plans to relocate warehousing and light manufacturing operations it houses within Janesville. They're going to be moving to a facility in Horicon by early 2017. That is a move that will shift as many as 100 jobs out of Rock County. Deere and Company plan to relocate warehousing and sub-manufacturing work now done in leased space at 2900 Beloit Avenue in Janesville. They're going to be moving John Deere's location to Horicon Works, located in Horicon, a factory that now produces residential and commercial tractors. Hey, we got a phone call. Let's take it.
Actually, it's not a phone call. I'm turning up the volume.
Oh, hey. Man.
Sorry, Reese.
608-352-9701. If you have something to say on this bit of news or anything else, that's the sound I want to be hearing. So you got
anyway, the John Deere thing's going to suck because, we are trying to go way back when, but GM's left, and that's not exactly a good sign. the John Deere's now leaving. Huh?
Yeah, well, this Horicon facility that they're moving to has been there since 1911, and the plant currently employs over 1,000 people. So it's kind of a consolidation effort.
I guess, I guess you're right. Now you say it that way. Yeah.
And they're actually saying the expansion could create 80 new jobs in Horicon. So, and also it is, we have the Dollar General coming. That's a 1 million square foot warehouse, and that's going to bring in some jobs too. So that's going on in the 2016-2017.
As Chad Sheridan is going to be stocked with over $4,300 worth of merchandise.
Chad Sheridan of OMP, that's on later tonight.
It's going to be on later tonight. He might stop in. We'll see.
That would be interesting. And we might have to just close the door. Right. All right. Next headline. Let's look at more than 130 law enforcement officials call for ending mass incarceration. If you're familiar with the morning show, mass incarceration is a topic that I have personally looked at. I joined the mass incarceration forum that took place in Beloit throughout October and September. I spoke at those events, and yesterday in news, this one popped up. So let's look at it. More than 130 police chiefs, prosecutors, and sheriffs have called for curbing mass incarceration in the United States. New York City Police Chief Bill Bratton and Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck were among those to call for ending mandatory minimums and creating alternatives to prison. Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy said the plan involves rethinking the definitions of crime. Here's a quote from Superintendent Gary McCarthy. He said, "It's really unclear that we can reduce violence." He's actually stated that it's really clear that we can reduce violence, we can reduce crime, and at the same time, reduce incarceration rates. And I really think that what we have to do in this country, and this may be a little bit radical, it is to start really thinking about what constitutes a crime, or what constitutes a crime. Steven,
unquote.
Unquote. Basically, this is something I've said about mass incarceration. We are in the state of Wisconsin incarcerating more people than anyone in the United States, and the United States below that is incarcerating more people than anyone in the world. clearly our definition of crime is different than the rest of the world.
I heard about this on Democracy Now! The other day.
Yes, yeah, me too. When I left.
That's why I heard about this. And I didn't realize it was about mass incarceration, but I heard it was about crime and how we need to either change the definition of prison or just the idea of trying to figure out a different way of alternative forms of imprisonment or some punishment. Like, and that's the nicest way of trying to put it. Not like punishment as in like illegal or unnecessary. There's a word I'm trying to say.
Decriminalization of many things. And that is, speaking at the incarceration events, the business of criminalization is something that's kind of, it's one of those gray area things that is not spoken about enough. As much as people do create their own criminal mentality, there is almost a system of criminalizing people because the things we do to create our legal system, our laws, we have such an abundance right now. And I think people on both sides of the political aisles are agreeing on that. So, that's more than 130 law enforcement officials calling for ending of mass incarceration. We're trying to figure out how that issue can be addressed.
It's good to know that the police chiefs, especially of such big cities, are trying, like New York, LA, those are the two biggest cities in the United States, and they're trying to figure a way to end that.
Yeah, and I've always said personally that I'm a guy from Beloit and Janesville. I've spent half my life between the two. And for me, Beloit and Janesville are kind of like small, bigger cities. They're small cities with big city resources.
I agree with that. Yep.
So if we kind of are a reading for what goes on in bigger cities. You see something happen here, it is going on a smaller scale here as it is in Chicago, New York. So you can really get a feel for things being in our local area, and they do compare. So
it's true. And Madison's not as bad, but they have a couple. They're like their city too. They're 200,000 people, so they got their cases and problems too. So it's like but they're an actual the closest city to us. Like,
exactly.
We're the biggest city in Rock County, and Beloit comes, I think, in a second. I think.
Yeah. I mean, when big news comes out of Madison, it tends to be big news.
It's true.
In Chicago too. In Beloit and Janesville, not so much. But like I said, they are comparable.
It is true.
You have to remember that. We're going to go to our first break right now. It is 7:30 a.m. October 23rd, 2015. You're tuned into the morning show. What do we got lined up?
David Bowie.
Actually, let's go to a different track. That's not the right track. Let's go to the very next track, whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Let's see here.
That was one of those techno remixes that should have never fit the list.
Okay.
Thanks for staying tuned to the morning show. We'll be back in just a little bit after this break. I thought
Eddie Grant. Let's change that.
That's good.
Sorry about that. I'll just turn it up now. It's not a call.
Oh, that's nice seeing that. I like seeing the green meter on there.
By the way, I think that wasn't muted the entire time, but that's okay.
Yeah, I might have got just a glimpse of it. We'll see. I really hope I don't like get done with it and it's like your audio's been removed due to copyright.
Oh, boy.
I'll get it right one of these times. If anything, we'll just switch to like Periscope or something.
There we go.
But that sucks too because I can't get Periscope on the laptop. I don't think. Back with the morning show on Janesville Community Radio. I'm your host, Reese Wood. Right now it's 7:37 a.m., October 23rd, 2015. We're joined by Steven Devine this morning. Good to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here this morning. It's nice that you're letting me do this. It's nice to get back into the sound engineering job.
Well, I have to say, news is a little more interesting when you have interactions with people.
It's true. It's true. You're right. You're right.
It's kind of hard to be like, hey, computer, say something.
Unless you like tell it to do something like they do on the Mac.
Yeah. I completely flipped this thing over one day. I was just like, hey, you didn't say anything. Come on. But and it didn't go good. But
that's fine.
Also, we are taking your calls. If you'd like to give us your interactions, 608-352-9701. You can call in this morning. You can join the video stream. Let's talk about that for just a second. There is a chat on the right side of the video stream. So you can watch the video stream, which is me and Steven this morning in studio.
Yep.
And we might have a guest this morning. We might not. We don't know. And so there's a chat on the video stream. You can join in through video on that. We can have up to 10 people in the video chat. And we do have a edit button now. We'll just call it the magic red button.
Yep.
So pretty much we can take calls. We can bring you in video. It's basically like Skype for those that are familiar with Skype. Mm-hmm. You can text chat on Facebook. We're looking for all of your interactions. As I've said many times, this is community radio. To me, that means something. So
it means something to me too.
Right.
Make sure.
So let's go over some more news before we get to our sports in just a little bit. And don't forget, at 8 a.m., Daily Devo. We're going to do a double dose of Devo today.
Mm-hmm. Double Daily Devo.
D. All right. Keep the coffee away from me. All right, this next bit of news. Exemption raises taxes and offsets aid cuts. This is a little bit of news on the Beloit School District. They're proposing to exceed state revenue caps by $5.5 million in its pending budget, using an allowable exemption for energy-efficient maintenance projects to raise property taxes and increase its annual flow of cash. The year after all the school district work is done, the district will receive most of the money back in state reimbursement. That money would be deposited into the district's general fund and can be used to cover any operational expenses. For taxpayers with a home value at $100,000, the $5.5 million assessed to the levy raises, taxes should be up to $388 a year for a person with $100,000 in taxpayer home value. Yeah, good luck with that one. But basically, the school district is proposing to exceed the state revenue caps. Basically, they're proposing to go over the budget. I
guess so. Sounds like
so Beloit School District, there's obviously some budget issues that need to be worked out.
Well, they've got two high schools. I mean,
yeah,
you have to make sure you get enough for both of them.
Yeah, and Beloit Memorial constantly getting work done to it. I believe it just got a new pool area last year and all kinds of work. It seems continuous, but
well, it's the graduation classes at Beloit are nuts. I mean, granted, I grew up in a smaller school, but still, like, I don't know when it was last year, a couple years ago, like 500 students graduated.
Yeah, in my class,
that's like nuts.
I think in 2004 it was near 400.
Yeah, it's great to see many people graduating. That's a lot of students. That's a lot of students.
Yeah. Let's move on to our next headline. Beloit, people, don't forget today, Beloit Podcast doing a listener calls episode. Basically, send me all your stories. I'll be sharing Beloit stories. And
Stories from Beloit, yeah, I saw that.
Stories
yeah,
from Beloit, yes.
Podcast, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to focus on all the Beloit stories that have popped up around the web this week. And we did have a lot of participants, people who sent in stories. So I'm really looking forward to sharing your stories. Basically, what we do here on community radio for Janesville, we also do it for Beloit. So there's your community coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to our next bit of news. U.S. Senate committee dismisses ethics complaints against Tammy Baldwin. 3 ethics complaints filed against U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of Wisconsin. The ethics complaints over her firing of a top-level staff member have been dismissed. Baldwin on Thursday released a letter from the Senate's Ethics Committee notifying her that the complaints related to the firing of her former Deputy State Director, Marquette Baylor, had been dismissed. Baylor, the Republican Party of Wisconsin, and the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust earlier this year had requested an investigation into Baldwin's handling of abuse allegations at the Toma Veterans Affairs Hospital and Baylor's firing in January. The committee told Baldwin in a letter dated August 14th that the complaints lacked substantial merit. Baylor's attorney, Todd Graves, did not immediately return messages seeking comment. Baldwin's spokesman, John Krause, says the complaints are frivolous and nothing more than political smears. This is one of our representatives, Tammy Baldwin, facing a little bit of heat right now. And
yeah, I met Tammy Baldwin before when I went on a trip to Washington with a group of people in a class. She seems like that, but I heard about the little bit about this.
Yeah, she's definitely someone who can handle the heat from what I've seen.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep. She's gotten a lot of it from people because she's one of the first openly gay senators. And
yeah, controversial, and anyone who can kind of do that uphill battle from day one, it's you're bound to run into other things. As we said with Paul Ryan, he continues to run into the same type of uphill battle from opposition and people on both sides.
It's nuts because I wasn't planning on running for senator at all. To maybe I'll probably be the one to get nominated for it.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah. Well, this is Tammy Baldwin facing just a little bit of heat, but it looks like she'll prevail through this.
Seems fine, yeah.
So we're going to go to a break right now. When we come back, we're going to have your sports, local, and things going on in the NFL and so on. Thanks for staying tuned. Back in a minute.
Community Radio.
That's gonna be out of playoffs, so it's after that.
3 viewers.
Woo!
Man.
We're on fire today, baby.
Yeah.
E&D Waterworks at 9
That's Jonathan. We made a lot of fun. We made fun of him yesterday. It was great.
Did you guys play the clip from his show? You didn't have to
Oh
play
no, it wasn't that, but
the
we made
Reese
fun
Wood
of something
clip.
else. It was funny.
Well, I'll hold out. I'll
If you
hear it.
listen to the show tonight, which I'm hoping you do, listen to the second hour. It's cruel. It's mean, but it's
You know, I usually fall asleep before the second hour.
yeah.
I usually don't make it to the second hour. And then I'm in here trying to like hear it while I'm in here in the morning.
You're listening to WADR.
So yeah, we're doing sports and then
Here's the sports. All right, I'll be ready.
see how long that takes.
It's a good theme. It's really good. It's simple, but it works.
Hold on. I did it on guitar the other day. I actually played it and did it again. So I will have a new track just like this coming in.
Awesome.
All right.
You ready?
Yep. Hey, we're back with the morning show on Janesville Community Radio. I'm your host, Reese Wood, joined today by Steven Devine.
Good.
Turn that mic
Good
on.
morning. There we go. There we go.
Now we're joined by him.
Yeah.
Right now, let's look at a little bit of weather. We're going to get to your sports in a second. 53 degrees outside, humidity at 74%, 11-mile-per-hour winds, and we will see a high of 61 today. We're in for some rain. I can partially see out the studio windows here. It looks like we're in for a cloudy one. So, not bad for a Friday. Maybe it's a good day to just relax and kick back a little bit if you can.
Yep.
And, yeah. So let's get into those sports right now.
All right, here we go, Reese. When it comes to sports, like I said, it's Thursday, so not like a huge lineup of anything. I will be telling you some of the games that are going to be played this Friday. Let's see. When it comes to last night, the 49ers and the Seahawks played last night.
How did that go?
It was a total domination by the Seahawks. They looked like the original Seahawks. They beat the 49ers 20-3. Yep. The Packers this week got a bye week, so they're not playing this week. I don't think Chicago is playing this week either. I believe they have a bye as well. So the two teams that are going to be playing in the NFC North are the Vikings and the Lions. And the Vikings are away. So Lions are at home again. Maybe we'll give them a chance to beat them. I don't know. The Lions fans are fun, but they sometimes look like I have no faith in these guys. They're
Detroiters, man.
In Detroit.
Yeah, Detroiters.
They look happy, but it's like sometimes they just don't look like, well, can he pass? I mean, they're like, yeah. They don't seem. I mean, they seem happy, but they're like some that like Packers fans. They're not like happy all the time when it's third down. They're like,
that's that Wisconsin cheese keeping it.
It's weird. Yeah. It's a fun game. The Bills are technically playing at Jaguars, even though they're going to be playing in London.
Wow.
So that's going to be a big game. That's at 9:30. Let's see what else. When it comes to other stuff, the Falcons are going to play the Titans. Well, that's not going to be much of a game. Browns are playing at the Rams. That game's going to be different. That should be fun. Cowboys, a big rivalry. Cowboys playing at New York. That's a big rivalry that they're going to be playing.
Oh, yeah.
Another pretty decent rivalry that's going to be going on is the Jets at the Patriots. That's at 1 o'clock. Eagles and Panthers will be fun. I'm not sure how that's going to be Sunday Night Football. See how that goes. Monday Night Football is going to be the Ravens at the Cardinals. I already had Super Bowl picks, but I'm not going to mention them online on the air because, some people might not agree with me. There was no baseball last night, so there's no game. The next game probably going to be continuing either Sunday or Saturday.
What do we got going on for Badgers?
This weekend, the Badgers are going to play against Illinois at Illinois, the Illini. We have a better chance record-wise. We're 5-2. They're 4-2. But going down to Champaign, it's never been easy. They have a pretty good crowd there, and the fans are very loyal football-wise and all sports-wise. So we'll see what happens. We beat them last time we played in Champaign, but we'll see what happens. You never know. NBA start-offs, for preseason stuff going on. The Indiana Pacers beat the Charlotte Hornets 98-86. The Golden State Warriors, champion Golden State Warriors, crushed the LA Lakers 136-97.
Wow.
And then the Los Angeles Clippers beat the Portland Trailblazers 115-109. That's sports. Reese, back to you.
All right, let's look at a little bit of local, what we got coming on Friday night, coming up tonight. Let's look at the varsity game. That'll be Janesville varsity football to be announced. And at 5 p.m. in volleyball. That's the boys freshman volleyball. They have a conference meet against Beloit Memorial, Fort Atkinson, also Madison East, Madison West, Middleton. That's versus Madison Memorial at Madison Memorial High School tonight at 5 p.m. At 5:30 in girls varsity state tennis, that's Sun Prairie versus WIAA. That's WIA tournament at Nielsen Tennis Courts. At 7 p.m. for football, that's varsity level 1 Madison Memorial versus Madison La Follette, and also varsity level 1 at 7 p.m. Sun Prairie versus Middleton at Middleton. And also at 7 p.m. varsity regionals, that's Janesville Parker versus Muskego at Muskego High School. And 7 p.m. also in football, boys varsity level 1, Madison East versus Economawalk. That's it for your local sports.
Sorry, one quick thing for local sports, because I'm a Milton guy, you know.
Middleton?
Milton. Get that a lot, don't worry. Milton plays Oregon again. I'm not sure if it's this week or not next week. I forget which one. For the Division II playoffs. So they're starting in. Milton made it. Oregon made it. We got crushed by Monona Grove the other day. Yeah. Not like horribly beaten out, but it was a sad loss. But we'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, speaking of, Oregon took control early yesterday, and that's against Parker. Yep. They were 25-19, 25-13, and 25-17 in a WIAA Division I regional semifinal match. That's it for sports. Yeah, it's 7:56 a.m. October 23rd, 2015. Let's go to our man. What do you say? Should we do Daily Devo, or let's go to that David Bowie track?
I was going to do the David Bowie thing quickly, then we can go right into the Daily Devo.
That sounds good. Stay tuned to the morning show. We'll be back after a little break. Don't forget, you can chat with us.
608-352-9701 is the phone number. Please call in. We can also take calls off air.
Good call. Good call. Perfect. It sucks coming up on the hour because it's like you want it to work out perfect.
It's like we got to get that top of the hour ID though in, so we got to make sure we do that. That's why I'm trying to make sure.
What do we got for time on this one?
It's let's see, check the studio. Official time 7:56:57. So we're about to kind of we're close.
So what's the song got for time?
About 4 minutes, I think.
Just fade it out when it gets to the top of the hour. I'll talk over.
I think we might be close. I think we might be getting close. We'll see. Yeah, it's okay for like a couple seconds over, like a minute over, as long as it's within 2 minutes. That's the
within 2 minutes?
As long as it's within 2 minutes.
All right.
That's it. So if it's 8:01 and you say it, that's legal. That's still okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's after like 3 minutes or 5 minutes. That's not then we missed it. It's like it's within 2 minute gap, and it's like at 8:02.
All right. Now I know.
Yeah, we're
8:02.
Like I said, I think we're gonna be good.
You're listening to WADRLP 103.5 FM, always making waves. Wisconsin's alternative destination radio.
Watch the video pick up Born to Be Wild.
Oh, that's Born to Be Wild.
Or this song.
Yeah.
You'll pick it up and be like, copyright. This is the WADR Morning Show with Reese Wood. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey, this is Chad from OMP Radio. Don't bother me at 9 o'clock on Thursdays because I'm listening to Derek Shavink.
It is.
On Into the Stratosphere.
He's got it.
Oh, no, he nailed it.
Program
Nailed it.
Is that to it? Like I said, if Paul was here today, I would come in and do a whole bunch of promos today. Actually, if I wanted to, I could use his laptop and he's on.
I need to sit down with this thing and do a bunch.
Oh, same.
I heard some of Reisner's stuff. I'm never going to get anyone's name right.
No. I'll mess something up. I'll be like John Norquay. I'll say John Norquay. I know it's John. I know it's Norquay. I'll say like Norquay.
Norquay.
With John Norquay on rock paper doll.
Doll hairs.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the second hour tone.
That's our second hour tone. That's how you know we're in the second hour of the morning show. All that bass. It is 8:08 a.m., October 23rd, 2015. This is the WADR Morning Show with me, your host, Reese Wood. Today, joined by Steven Devine.
Good morning.
Man, it is the second hour, and every day is something different in the second hour. Today, we're going to continue to go over some other things going on in the headlines. But we are looking for some phone calls. I see we had 3 viewers on the video stream, and that was.
So that means people do know us. That's
yeah. We're burning down the web.
Yeah,
blazing a trail.
608-352-9701 is the phone number if you want to call in. We're also willing to take calls off air if you don't want to call in and talk about it live. That's okay.
Yep. If you want to call in during breaks, you're welcome to do so. And we're looking for community interaction. Because, of course, this is community radio. It's pretty simple like that. Let's get into a little discussion on some technology in our medications. That's RFID chips in medications to ensure you take your medicine. This was something I was reading about last night. Hospitals are increasingly adopting supply chain technology, which is now used in retail and other industries. They are starting an effort to cut inventory costs. New payment models established under the Affordable Health Care Act have kind of caused an issue for revenue for some hospitals, prompting providers to find a way to add services and cut costs at the same time. So many hospitals are implementing technologies that are traditionally found in the retail industry. They're using these technologies to reduce cost by keeping better tabs on the inventory, including they're using technology that includes radio frequency identification tags and scannable barcodes that is on your medication. And it gets pretty deep from there. That basically means your prescription medications will have a barcode on it, and they're going to keep inventory on not only how the medications are being distributed, where they're being inventoried, but it will also include how you are taking your medication.
I guess that kind of makes, it's not a good thing because now they're looking at it all the time, but
yes,
at the same time, it's not a bad thing because now they're going to know how people, unless they're abusing drugs, unless it's just for safety precautions, I get that. But if different people, more people are abusing drugs nowadays. I'm not talking about
pills.
Pills are a big problem.
They really are.
Take them I might need this, and the doctor's like, okay, take this, and they'll take 4 of them just to get a buzz or something.
Well, it's been in the headlines, and we've heard from Schimmel. He's had some. He's addressed the pill issue. He is. Yeah, that's Schimmel. But we also had Deb Kolste in here, our Janesville representative, I think a week ago. And she was discussing the water issues, something that I look at a lot, and pharmaceutical toxification within our water supply, because many people are kind of unaware that when we digest our pharmaceuticals, let's say you have a pharmaceutical in your daily routine
Mhm.
and it's part of your life, obviously you digest the contents of the pill.
Right, of course.
But when those digested contents go to the wastewater facility, there is no adequate way to remove the pharmaceuticals from our water. There are methods, they're very expensive, and it is just one of those things that we do not address currently in an adequate, effective, and efficient way. So, I can understand wanting to put the barcodes on medications to kind of keep track on the medications going out. But at the same time, I'm a little skeptical on the RFID chip aspect of this because that means we can put smart technology, you hear about smartphones
Yep.
and all kinds of smart technology, but we can now make I'm assuming biodegradable, some type of smart chip that will be consumable.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I mean, it's going to take a lot of research and
Yeah.
acid testing because of the stomach acid.
Well, I'm wondering how would your doctor keep track of you and your consumption habits? I mean, putting a barcode on it does say that it went somewhere, but how do they track that barcode?
To see how many pills are gone, unless there's like something inside the medication bottle that has an amount tracker.
But that's within the bottle. Once that pill leaves the bottle, how do you keep track of the actual person taking that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Do you scan the person?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. And this is new technology development, and I wouldn't be surprised if Google gets on this one, man.
That's interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, so this is something that was recently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. They approved an ingestible radio ID tag. So basically, like when you go to the store, you have a barcode. It will now be on your prescription. So yeah, that's interesting stuff. Let's look at some other things going on right now. We are on the web. For those who would like to join us on the video chat, all you have to do is go to the WADR Mornings Facebook page. The link is posted. Once you click on today's video link, the video pops up and you'll see me and Steven in studio. There's a chat to the right of that video. You can call in also, and maybe you want to talk about those RFID chips. What do you think about it?
Yeah, 608-352-9701. You could also call off air if you do not want to contact us on live air, I should say.
Let's look at this next little bit. No pun intended. Bitcoin now tax-free in Europe after court ruling. I do talk about Bitcoin currency stuff, all kinds of things I will discuss on the alternative currency things that develop. Right now, virtual currencies can be exchanged tax-free in the European Union. That's following a ruling from the highest court in Europe on Thursday. Bitcoin and its alternatives can now be treated in the same way as traditional money, according to European Court of Justice. In a statement Thursday morning, Bitcoin transactions are exempt from VAT, that's valued added tax, under the provision concerning transactions relating to currency, also banknotes and coins used as legal tender. That's quite a development. Bitcoin now tax-free in Europe. Bitcoin in the United States, I believe, is tax-free as well because you cannot, it is not a currency, it is a commodity?
I guess so.
Basically, you can convert all currencies around the world into Bitcoin or some other form of various cryptocurrency or virtual currency. And
here's the thing, though. I remember this. You need $250 to get one Bitcoin.
Yes, but I mean, if you've made it to $251, what are you buying for $251? That the next day it's going to go up $5 more.
That's true too. Yeah.
Bitcoin's one of those things where it will continue to be on the rise, and that's just my opinion. But I do see it, as you said, $251. Yeah. That means it started at $0 and worked its way up. I believe over the past 5 years to 251.
That's true.
So that is quite a jump, and we will, in my opinion, we're going to continue to see those type of exchanges. People are going to put their currencies, whether it's Chinese currency, Australian, European Union, they're going to let you put euros into Bitcoin tax-free. As I was trying to say, in the United States, if you use Bitcoin right now, there is zero transaction on that. So that is kind of unique. If you're a business, this is something kind of to look into, because currency is a big thing that's just kind of overlooked.
Yeah, we talked about that with John last Wednesday. You're right. It's a lot of things about the currency of different countries is really overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're a political follower or just someone who keeps up on news, you might be familiar with the term "follow the money." And for me, that was a big realization. To follow the money means more than just following federal dollars or federal debt notes, as they're known. You have to follow all things in the currency world, German currency, the Chinese currency. But now in the currency world, you have virtual currencies. You also have virtual nations. I got into a little discussion online last night about virtual nations and sovereignty. And I'm still surprised. There's quite a confusion over people not being familiar with the word sovereign. And man, this is the United States as far as I know. So, you know what? I think we should go to a break right now.
Okay.
It's Friday. We're going to listen to some music. That's what I felt like doing today.
Yeah, I also got a headline, because like I said, I'm a Milton person.
Oh, yeah.
This one's kind of a big headline that involves a little health.
We're going to get back to
this was done on Monday, but I haven't got the chance to talk about it, and I really want to. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but just to let people know it's happened. So just got to be careful. Milton involves water, so I want to definitely talk about it.
Definitely. We'll get to Steven Devine's got a headline when we get back. Let's what do we got? That Gogo Let's go that Gogo Bordello.
All right.
I like that Gogo Bordello.
All right, here we go.
Back in a minute.
To do what you and I wanna do and go forever crazy with it. Why the hell we are even here?
Love this guy. But he does swear every time, like every now and then.
This one's clean though, right?
He speaks Romanian, so there's lyrics in here. There are other languages. No swearing. I proved it this morning.
Actually, it was really cool. I had to play a song on my program the other day. It's a good song. I think it'll have one F-bomb. WADR.
Promotional consideration for 103.5 FM WADR, Janesville Community Radio, paid for by Janesville Farmers Market. Open Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., May through October.
If you want to go
Located
right
on
into it, I
West
can go
Wall
right into
Street,
it.
North River and North Jackson.
I'll bring us back and send it to you.
If you want to talk about the headline first, you can.
No, we're talking about that. That's great.
Meat, cheese,
That is
seasonal
great.
products, card pieces, and more. Now accepting SNAP. Janesville Farmers Market. www.janesvillefarmersmarket.com. Programming on 103.5 FM WADR, Janesville Community Radio, sponsored in part by Dave Adams, salesman at Budweiser Motors.
During next break, let's
676
cue up that
Milwaukee Road,
PSA.
Beloit, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Online at BudweiserMotors.com. Sales of Chevrolet and Cadillac automobiles. Telephone number 608-313-1407. Dave Adams, sales, Budweiser Motors. Telephone number 608-313-1407.
You're listening
It's
to
nuts. It's interesting disease.
Yeah, it's crazy.
with my dad, Reese Wood.
For the two people.
Yep.
Back with the morning show on Janesville Community Radio, WADR LP 103.5 FM in Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm your host, Reese Wood, joined today by Steven Devine.
Good morning.
Right now it's 8:23 a.m., October 23rd, 2015. We are going over news today because it's Friday. We're kind of kicking it back a little bit, taking it easy. Usually we have in-studio guest or some other form of interview, pre-record or something. Today, just taking your phone calls and chatting with people online. You can chat with us on Facebook, chat with us on the video stream. If you're looking for the video stream, you have to be on Facebook to find the link.
Yep, 60, and the phone number for the station, 608-352-9701. If you want to call in, you can also call in off air if you don't want to talk about your opinion on the air. We're totally okay with that.
Yeah, we had 3 viewers on the video stream, so we're really setting this place on fire this morning.
Yep.
And phone calls from now on, you are able to call in. That is just monumental to me. So
It's monumental to the whole station because we couldn't do that for the longest time when we first started
Yeah.
out. But now that we can, it's crazy. In a good way. It's a good crazy, though, so it's really exciting.
whole new game at community radio.
Amen.
So yeah, you had an article before we went to a break.
This is interesting.
Yeah, let's go over.
This happened on Monday, but it hasn't really mentioned. I haven't been able to get to it because I didn't figure out until Tuesday that this thing happened. It's fun. It's interesting. It's a update from an illness at Milton. Like I said, I'm a big Milton guy. I don't live there, but I went to school there, so I do respect the place. It's a virus has affected the Milton football team pretty badly. The disease is called Cryptosporidium. It's a bug that's bitten Milton High School varsity team. 2 students have been diagnosed with Cryptosporidium, according to the Rock County Department of Health, and the number remained the same Wednesday morning. 2 patients are boys, and both are members of the football team, according to the health department. Officials said the students were most likely infected at the beginning of October. The big thing about this is scary about is that this disease also could be transmitted through drinking water. That's where a lot of it can be passed for. A previous test was done on the 15th showing no problems. And results of new tests released Wednesday showed there's no sign of crypto in the drinking water, but somehow the students still tracked the disease. Coach Bill, he was the head coach of the football team, said the players are washing their hands like brain surgeons so they don't spread the disease, which causes flu-like symptoms. The Rock County Health Department is assisting the district with taking precautionary measures to prevent the spread of crypto, according to an issue released Monday. High school pool will be closed for 24 hours, and the school will be disinfected, all bathrooms and lockers. It's hard, according to Tim Shugger, who's the district administrator, he said it's hard to pinpoint whether kids who have been ill are from crypto or not. That's why we're trying to pinpoint the following precautions as the county has directed us. The coach says that the disease will pass by Friday when they face Oregon. Crypto causes diarrhea, cramps, and other gastrointestinal discomfort. It's primarily transmitted through drinking water and will incubate for 2 to 10 days before the patient shows symptoms, which can last for about 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, I am looking at some general information about cryptosporiodosis, and it is, as you said, comes from drinking water or water in general, but this is a resilient parasite is what it is, and they can survive outside of your body outside of a water habitat for an extended amount of time, and treatment for it, man, there's not much you can do for treatment besides drink plenty of water.
That's not full of cryptosporidium.
Drink plenty of good water. And it also says maintain a well-balanced diet, and also avoid caffeine, such as tea and coffee or soft drinks. Also avoid.
Well, that's out for both of us then, because I'm
Yeah.
a soft drink guy and you're a coffee guy. So.
Yeah. Cryptosporiodosis has got us down. You got to avoid alcohol as well. So if you do, get some type of parasitic issue from your drinking water, oh man, as we were talking about earlier, it's an unknown battle. I really feel like many of us are battling issues. Mental health is one of those things that we overlook as a number one problem. And some of that, I think, kind of comes from our water.
Yeah, it's some of listing in Milton, which I highly doubt. Those who care about Milton, don't worry. Like I said, according to the headline, a test was taken a little while ago, and there's new tests, and it shows that there's no sign of crypto in the drinking water. So tests have shown that the water, if you're in Milton, the water is still clean, so you can still drink it if you need to.
Well, that is good news. I mean, but definitely
But be very careful wherever you're going, because we're still not sure. Like I said, they're cleaning the pool because I think that's where they believe that could be too, because it's pool water. Even though chlorine's in there, that doesn't mean.
You know what? That's what I did read, that this one parasite is highly resistant to chlorine disinfection.
Right. So if they get, even though it's chlorine there, it still can. So that's why they're draining the high school pool and refilling it. So that's the reason. I heard people say that's where they believe that's where it was gotten from. So it's not drinking water in this case. They believe the high school pool because there's swimming units in gym class, so that's probably why they thought so. Yeah, that's
such a touchy thing because water. It's just one of those things we kind of take for granted. But it could very easily be our next oil issue.
Yeah, but there you go, folks. That's the update on the cryptid illness in the Milton football team.
All right, well, let's look at some technology news, or it looks like some auto industry news. A little bit of both. I do share a little bit on Elon Musk from time to time. Let's look at this bit of news right now. Elon Musk says Tesla Motors could start a China car production within 2 years. This Elon Musk guy, he's the guy who is responsible for starting PayPal, one of the ways that you can transact money online very effective and efficiently. But he also owns Tesla Motors, Inc. They could begin producing cars in China within 2 years. That would be a game changer. A Tesla motor, their vehicles do run up into the hundreds of. Tesla Motors also produces a variety of other products, which are just groundbreaking, if you ask me. They have.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing that they're able to create. World's strongest battery, I believe they said.
Yeah, a lithium-ion battery. Yeah. And if you have not Googled lithium-ion and lithium deposits around the world, I highly recommend that because there is much to be looked into in the metals world. There's wars fought right now that we don't really know are over metals of different forms. Look up those metals, and lithium being one of them, because lithium-ion is the new technology in batteries. And as we were saying, Tesla Motors utilizes lithium-ion batteries within their vehicles, but also the new thing they have is this in-home battery, basically a battery bank for your home. If you are ever without power, this thing will power your home, and it can be used from solar panels or wind energy, whatever you can use to give it input. A lithium-ion battery that will power your whole house. Usually these little lithium-ion batteries are in your smartphones or your tablets, or now they have them on cordless tools. I have some cordless tools that have the lithium-ion battery, and they hold up forever.
It's
really
amazing, yeah. It's also amazing that you can create electric cars that are 100% electric. In my opinion, is already impressive. If I, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to, but if I had the money to buy a Tesla car, oh yeah, I'd buy a Tesla like instantly.
Yeah, I think when they first came out, I saw, what was it, Montel Williams.
Yeah.
just test driving one around. I was like, man, that thing is nice.
Yep. And I didn't know it's a Tesla. Oh, that's cool. It's like, oh, it's an electric car. Oh, okay. And it's 100% electric. What?
Yeah.
That's what sold it for me right there. The idea of being 100% electric. It's like, that's really cool.
And here's a bit of news that it's just kind of caught my eye. Vladimir Putin, that's Russian leader Vladimir Putin says America is lying.
No.
Ooh.
Vladimir Putin said that?
Is he stretching it? We don't know. Russian leader accuses the U.S. of using Iran nukes as a cover to build missile defense shield. Man, there's been a lot with Putin speaking out against the U.S. Mildly, not directly, but this one is pretty direct. I know that Putin did meet with President Obama not too long ago at the what was it? Not the G20, the United Nations.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
And man, did that even blow up? Because there was accusations days later that United Nations leaders were taking money. Oh man, somebody's creeping up on us in studio.
It's in a good way. I'm hoping so.
Did you bring coffee?
Oh, I wish I did.
Hey, we got Chad Sheridan of OMP. He's in studio with us right now.
Is this on, Steven?
Yeah, you're good. You're on, man. You're in. If you want to turn off your headphones, I'm not sure which one they are, but yeah.
It sounds good.
All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Sheridan.
That mic was on fire, so we had to move it away from us.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, I'm glad I got it. Is that your Google stream?
Yeah,
That's
we're video streaming. You're within the stream.
I was watching it yesterday morning. Watching it.
Yeah, without the sound, we've had some issues, but we might have it figured out this morning.
Is that what you're using your Zoom mic for?
Yeah, Google doesn't like the music for some reason, so I think we got it figured out today.
That's what he said, and then we'll figure out something that didn't work or something like that tomorrow.
Test trial and error.
Yep. Me and Andy used to do our podcast before we were on the radio. We would do stuff with Google all the time. Well, we tried all kinds of different stuff, but Google was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The only issue I had with it is people wanted to get in the Hangout and watch it.
Yep.
So then when you're in the middle of the show, you turn into Google help desk and like 50 people sending you messages. Well, how do it's not installing right. And I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's like, just don't bother.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy way to get a video up. We might go to something different next week. We're debating it. If this thing doesn't put out audio today, I'm going to probably go home and, I don't know, be pretty sad.
Burn the computer now.
Yeah, I'll be pretty sad. That's all I know. But
not really, but yeah.
Yeah. So how's it going this morning, Chad?
Oh, not bad. Took my kids to school and got my motorcycle. Rode down.
I was going to say, you rode your motorcycle down here. I saw your new green jacket that you're talking about.
53 degrees outside.
Well, that's not bad motorcycle weather.
Yeah, right.
Well, first couple blocks, it's a little tough on the face, but after that, you get
You numb up to it. That Wisconsin numbness.
It's like deer hunting, just going a little faster.
Right?
Yeah. He showed us a lot about the motorcycle on OMP. It's a really cool one.
I saw that
really
thing.
Awesome. Yeah.
My one I'm right now is just a little tiny one. But
I had one just like it, and here's my story. I was riding through Village Green the day I bought it, and they got this little grass hill that goes up towards the apartments. And what do? I'm like next to my buddy. I'm like 18 years old at the time. I'm going to do a burnout, and I throttle back. It's not in gear. I kick it in gear, and it goes straight off, and I'm on it for about 2 seconds before I'm on the ground, sliding up a grass hill, luckily. But yeah, sold the bike after that. Yeah, it was a bad experience, but yeah.
Now what can you do, right?
You can ride another day, or you can not. That's what you can do.
Yeah. Even on the way here, I had somebody. It's really hard for people to see motorcycles.
Oh, I had a guy I was watching a video, actually, somebody shared the other day, an old guy just out in the middle of nowhere, swerving over a motorcycle with a passenger, passing this vehicle, and an old guy in this, like a Thunderbird, just fishtails over and knocks him off. And luckily there was another biker with a head cam behind him, caught the whole thing.
I saw that. I think that guy did that on purpose. I don't think he meant to hit him. I think he meant to scare him, but
yeah,
he hit him, and that's
because he was like, "You can't be passing in a double yellow."
He's like, "I don't care."
Like, you can't be hitting people.
You can't be hitting people. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. When you get to a certain age, you got to lay down the law, and he definitely did, and it was crazy.
The one part in that video that got me, well, I'm not really laughing, but I'm like, I think that's what I would do too. Is after the bike falls and the two people are sliding and they come to a stop, the one guy gets up and just starts walking around. I'm like, that's exactly what I would do. That's kind of so bad. Just like, oh God, I gotta move.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, is he going to walk? Because I know usually after an accident, you have that anxiety. You have all this, everything going on. You don't know if you're bleeding from somewhere. You just know you're traumatized. You're going to do something.
Yeah.
And that guy, he totally started walking, but you could see he was limping afterwards. He didn't know what he was doing.
His jeans held up pretty well for considering how fast it looked like they were.
Rugged.
Because I was looking to see what the damage was on the bodies. And he had a cut up the side of his jeans and he was bleeding a little bit. But I'm like, wow,
well, people buy jeans those ways these days. So.
Yeah, buy them all ripped.
Exactly. The biker rip.
I want that motorcycle accident worn.
With the jeans.
At your local store.
There we go.
Yeah, so you guys got OMP coming up tonight, right?
And I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but I think it should be a good one.
It's going to be a fun one. This is going to be a real fun one. Don't worry, no aftertaste. I'll leave it at that.
Speaking of aftertaste, Reese, do you like jelly beans?
Are you talking about like Jelly Bellies or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, still. Those are my, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Bean Boozled, you ever heard of that?
No, you got me.
It's a game where you have two jelly beans that look the same, and one of them has a delicious taste and one doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh man.
For example, one of them either tastes like juicy pear or a booger.
Close call.
Yeah.
It's a game of press your luck. Subtract the effect. It's like 50-50, and that's all you get.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna do it on the show tonight, and I think Steven and Paul are gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We may or may not have recorded it last night.
Yeah,
it's a secret.
It's a secret. So shh. Don't say anything, Reese. Don't say anything.
And on to our next headline.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what we've been doing this morning, going over some headlines.
Yeah.
What do you got anything in the news that's been in your face? Just kind of something really nothing.
No, but one of my daughters was just irritated this morning with your show.
Really? What happened?
Well, here's what happened is my voice came on and said, you're listening to WADR. And all of a sudden, the beginning of, I believe, Walk Like an Egyptian came on over it.
Oh, that was my fault. I take blame.
Engineer Devine.
I take blame for that one. Here's the thing. I actually got to be careful what I say.
Well, you just had a track that was auto set up, and
it was auto set up, and it went right into another track right away. If you know what I mean. And so because of that, I had to quickly cut it off.
Right.
Should we play Walk Like an Egyptian for his daughter?
We should. I'm a Bengals fan.
She's in school now, but it was funny because she's like, "Hey, that's your voice," and then she's like, "Why is that girl talking over you?"
Oh, who is that?
Okay, yeah. Sadly, the auto setup was play another song right away. I completely forgot about that. So
I didn't mind it because I didn't want to hear myself. So.
Yeah, you should see what Bengals tracks you can line up for the next next real short break.
Yeah,
maybe not that one. That is not my favorite one.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I like all those Bengals tracks. We were talking about that, all the '80s tracks. I'm a big '80s fan, and we'll probably play quite a bit of '80s, our daily Devo every day.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna reach out to those guys, see if we can
get them on the program.
Reel them in.
Trying to get Devo?
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to reel them in. Yeah, they like the little guys. So
I think one of the guys from Devo was on Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yes, Mark Mullersbo. He's a artist, a visual artist.
Oh, that's him, huh? He's the Mark guy with the little beard.
Yeah, he's a singer for Devo, and he actually graduated. One of the big universities. I don't know if it was Harvard, but one of the big universities as an art major. Yeah. So when he started Devo, it was an art expedition. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. So I've always been an '80s fan. I love the '80s music. I was born in '85, so might have something to do with it. I don't know.
I like it too. I like a lot of the Devo and like the new wave type. Music like that. I think it's cool. Most of it.
Yeah, we played some cassettes yesterday with Jason Reisner.
Yeah. Well, his show's tonight, by the way, from 6 to 8.
Yep, he'll be playing some alt music.
Mm-hmm.
But
good show.
The Alt Janesville Radio Show. Yeah.
He's is one of those shows. I don't know a lot about music, but I'll listen to it and I'll be like, "Oh, I love that song. I wonder what it is." Oh yeah, and then this one too.
Yep. He'll play a song. Oh my god, I haven't heard that song forever. Or it's like, "Oh, I played this song before. I know it's a good song." Yeah, something.
Right. Yeah. Last week, you threw me off with like pop song of the decade, Verve's "Bittersweet Symphony." I was singing, what song was that?
Yeah, he ended that last week on his program, and I'm just like, "Oh, I love that song. I heard that forever." Yeah, I love the Verve's.
He called that the pop song
of the 2000s when it came out in the 90s. Yeah, I was way off, and then way off. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a coffee day for me or something. It was a pre-record with those pre-records. Man, thanks for editing.
Wasn't there a verb in like a verb pipe or something like that?
Yeah.
I played a song by the Verve Pipe before on my program.
I wonder if they knew they were both coming out, or if they like both hit at the same time.
Yeah.
No.
That's that.
No.
That's that McDonald's and Burger King double. They're doubling up on you.
McDowell's and McDonald's coming to America.
It's funny because the Burger King has a thing called the Big King. If you know what it is, it's like it's you know the Big theme song. It's pretty much
Two all beef patties, that type deal.
same thing, pretty much in a round form. They can't call it that, so they call it a Big King. It's like,
I know there was talk of them doing a crossover where they're going to make a Whopper Big Mac.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
a
God.
McWhopper or something like that.
Hey, to tie this all together, Devo did a McDonald's commercial,
Yeah, I'll bet they did.
but it wasn't Devo. It was they have a commercial production business. They actually make commercials for big people, Apple, McDonald's, all the big names. So Devo popping up in places you don't even know.
Hopefully WADR.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of people popping up, we still only have like 15 minutes left. We're still going to take your call 608-352-9701.
Why don't we go to a break? What do we got lined up?
This is an important one. I think you still want to play this. The PSA, the
Yeah.
events going on for Rock County here in
Yeah, so before we get to that, if you're looking to vote for your favorite local artist, the United Arts Alliance has some forms at Janesville Community Radio. That's 321 East Milwaukee Street. You can sign or stop in and vote for your favorite local artist. That's the Janesville's Performing Arts Center. Yeah,
the United Arts Alliance.
Is there a category for favorite radio show?
I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, can sign up. Just write it in, right? Just like your votes, write it in.
This is weird. We got like 15 results for OMP.
It's all the same handwriting.
It could happen. You got my write-in.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, let's go to that break.
All right, this is folks from the Rock County Historical Society's October events.
Following PSA.
You guys record it too, like an MP3?
Yeah,
Located at 426 North.
Yeah.
Stuff I want you to read.
I'm doing the podcast of this as soon as I get out of here.
5645
I'll make sure we'll finish this up and I can bring us like right back in or something like that because I know you want to do some stuff.